want the flash, I want the substance in the grain. Reading Marcus Aurelius while I'm standing in the rain. The logic isn't binary, it's fluid like the sea. Trying to unlearn the version of who they want me to be. The NPC is clicking like a clock that's lost its mind, searching for the groove that the industry left behind. Velvet thoughts in a world of jagged edges, building bridges while they're busy building hedges. Softly spoken, but the weight is heavy on the tongue. Ancient stories being told while we are still young. See the patterns in the architecture of the street, the way the struggle and the triumph always seem to meet. My melanin is ripping, my heritage is deep. I'm wide awake in a world that's fast asleep. Velvet thoughts in a world of jagged edges, building bridges while they're busy building hedges. Softly spoken, but the weight is heavy on the tongue. Ancient stories being told while we are still young. It's not a race, it's a marathon of the heart. Velvet thoughts in a world of jagged edges, building bridges while they're busy building hedges. Softly spoken, but the weight is heavy on the tongue. Ancient stories being told while we are still young. Old books and mahogany, the scent of time itself. Knowledge isn't something you just leave upon a shelf. It's the way you treat the stranger, the way you hold your head. It's the prayers you whisper softly before you go to bed. I'm a student of the struggle, a master of the calm, writing revolutionary songs inside my open palm. The rhythm is the teacher, the melody is the healer. Brown skin, gold soul, let the truth be told. We are more than the stories that they bought and sold. Rooted in the earth, reaching for the stars, healing all the trauma and the systemic scars. Drum machine is breathing, it's got a soul of its own, built on the foundations of the seeds that we have sown. From the Nile to the Hudson, the frequency remains. breaking all the mental and the spiritual chains. Brown skin, cold soul, let the truth be told. We are more than the stories that they bought and sold. Rooted in the earth, reaching for the stars, healing all the trauma and the systemic scars. Light in the dark, the spark in the heart, the frequency is calling. Midday, shadows on the brick and stone, searching for a frequency to call my own. The city's humming like a broken wire, but I'm just cooling down the inner fire. Pencil scratching on a yellow pad, turning all the good things out of all the bad. I'm a ghost inside the rhythm of the street, with a 12-bit heart and some dusty feet. It's just subtle static in the back of the mind, leaving all the heavy hollow noise behind. Just a soft vibration, just a steady flow. Nowhere left to run and nowhere left to go. Blessings like I'm counting bars, looking for the wisdom underneath the scars. They try to sell the fast life, I'm buying slow, watching how the seeds of the spirit grow. Ink on the finger, soul in the machine, keeping my vibration crystal clear and clean. It's just subtle static in the back of the mind, leaving all the heavy hollow noise behind. Just a soft vibration, just a steady flow. Nowhere left to run and nowhere left to go. Yeah. Just a static, keep it moving, find the center. Just the static, keep it moving, keep it moving, fine. Sipping tea, sipping tea while the sun begins to fade, counting all the quiet choices that I've made. Amber light reflecting off the kitchen floor. I don't need to look for answers anymore. The frequency is settled, the spirit is at rest. Giving all my worries to the rhythm in my chest. I'm a student of the stillness, a master of the pause. Living by the music, not the world's heavy loss. Catch the amber glow before it slips away. Finding all the beauty in the middle of the day. Softly, softly, let the vibration take its hold. Turning every silver moment into solid gold.
Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. We have made it. I'm not going to keep you holding any longer because you guys are on time. So we're going to get started and we have the replay for the rest of our friends. So, again, happy Thursday. We're almost at the end of the week. I know here in Philadelphia, school is ending. So everyone is happy. I have graduation tomorrow, so I need to well, graduation for one of my daughters, and so I have to start preparing emotionally. I don't know about you guys, but these kids are growing up too fast. So let's get ready to jump in and wrap up day three. Day three is exactly what I just said. It is a wrap up, so we're not going to be here long. This really is about making sure we're all clear about everything we covered and making sure you have the tools to put these things in action. So let me get ready to share the screen. I don't know why it takes me this long to share a screen. When I tell you I use Zoom like every day, but I know this is a safe space and you're not judging me. But I typically have so many tabs open. All right, one moment. One, okay, that's why. I have more than one screen. All right. All right. We can see my screen. Yes. All right. All right, let's get going again. This is day three. Today we are wrapping up and creating our 90-day profit turnaround plan. That means we're taking everything that we talked about on day one and two, putting them together so that we can say, here's what I'm going to do starting tomorrow, starting Monday. We're not waiting. You don't need to learn anything else right now. We need to put these things in action. All right. So that's what we're going to do today. We have already found our $20,000 leak, right? That was really my promise to you was we were going to find the leak. And so I will, y'all weren't talking to me much yesterday, but the only way I get to know if you found your leak, how much it was, and what your next step is if you share it in the chat. You can unmute, but let's just make sure we have all of our details, all of our numbers, and we're ready to put them in action again. All right, so let's go. All right, you guys showed up. You showed up. Some of you, it may have been one day, maybe two, maybe all three. But here's what we did. We calculated the freedom number, the monthly revenue that your program needs and how much you need. We calculated that. If you did not, we have the replays up until Sunday. So you still have time to take a look and make sure that you know how to calculate your freedom number because it's important. We also found our annual revenue leak to the dollar. We did that yesterday. We calculated a couple of numbers. And so we put all three that we calculated together, and that is the annual revenue leak. Then you were able to name your number one leak type. Was it enrollment? Meaning, do you have open spots? Do you have a rate issue? Meaning that you are underpricing yourself? Do you have a collection issue? Meaning you're not collecting all the money that's owed to you? Or is there a staffing issue? Are we overstaffed? Or are we not, are we paying too much overtime? Do we not have the right staff? Even that is a money leak. I had a whole conversation today with my, well, she's about to be my director because I'm transitioning out this summer. And we were talking about a couple of staff that we've been unsure about. And the thing is, I'm like, but if we keep them, I don't want to hold people for potential. That's a money leak. That, no, no, I'm not going to say it that way. When we know that someone just isn't a good fit and we're holding on to them is a money leak. So my thing was, either we need to literally have a 90-day plan prepared so that they get where we need them to get within 90 days, or we have to let them go. Otherwise, we're just paying someone and they're not doing the job. That's a money leak. Okay. I could give you all examples all day. I told you I do this work too. So every single day, I'm applying the same type of stuff. Okay. So all of those are examples of money leaks. We learned how to find money because I shared with you some other examples of other ways for you to say, you know what, I'm spending too much on subscriptions. Let me cancel those, or you might be able to do something else in your program that brings in more money. I told you that we have space rental. That is just, that's the way for us to find money without us spending any more money. Okay. And all of these, I have a typo, that's okay, to increase profit. That is a goal too. We want to increase our revenue. We want to reduce our expenses, which ultimately allows us to bring in a profit. All of that took courage. I celebrate you for being here and for spending time in your on your evenings, because I know that we have long days, okay? Sometimes there are owners that don't look at these numbers. They don't care to look, no judgment, but you did. So I celebrate you. All right. And we don't want to stop at just hearing what I'm talking about. We want to make sure we do something about it. So, day one, I like to do a recap so we can refresh and make sure that we did each part of these. If any of these things you didn't do while I'm covering it, jot it down and then make sure you go back to day one and catch what you didn't catch, or day two, or tonight. Okay? So, day one was all about the CEO shift. We identified and named the provider trap. I don't want you trapped or stuck any longer. Once we can identify where we're trapped at, why we're stuck, we can get unstuck. I'm literally rereading Atomic Habits again. Don't know if you read it. When I say this book here, phenomenal, it is all about habits. It's all about what do we do day in and day out that's not productive. It is not moving us forward in our lives. Is very similar. Those are traps when we just keep doing the same thing. And until we make small changes, we're going to keep being in the rat race. So it's the same type of thing. Where are you stuck? Freedom number. We just talked about that. CEO versus provider mindset. And then people, profits, processes. That is the CEO framework. I talk about it all the time. Oh, no. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ismay. Thank you for joining. Prayers for you. Prayers. Thank you for joining and sharing. Sophia, there you go. Can you see it? Atomic Habits. And I will, let me see. Adrian, you mind putting in the chat? Atomic Habits, James Clear. Phenomenal. I'm listening to the audio book and I have this one sitting right here. Really, really good. Okay. Um, there we go. Yes, yes. Fantastic book. Now, like I said, this is second time. So it's one of those, you don't just stop at one. All right. So those are the type of things we want to do just to change our habits, do something differently. I told you I've been doing it 18 years. I can ask everyone on here, how many years have you been doing this work? And I'm sure each of us can think about something we've been doing a long time. some things don't serve us, and I want us to identify. No problem. You're welcome. Thank you. I want us to be able to just identify those things so we can get unstuck. All right. Day two, that was just yesterday. We were finding the money leaks. That was the whole purpose of this challenge. I don't want you to keep bleeding money. We can't afford it. We talked about the iron triangle. That's the triangle. We have the top of the triangle, enrollment, the bottom right, it rates, and then the bottom left, collection. When all of those things are fully done, when we can say, yes, we are full, when we can say, yes, our rates cover expenses and profit, when we can say, yes, we're collecting all of our money, that is a formula for us to not only cover our expenses, but to have a profit. Now, the reason I can't say it will 100% is because I'm not in your business and I'm not even sure if your childcare program is set up to be profitable, if I could be honest. I usually have to work like one on one with someone to actually be able to dig into the numbers, because what I know is that sometimes we may find a facility and it's beautiful, whatever the case may be, but depending on the capacity has to be able to allow you to have a profit. So sometimes the iron triangle may not work, but it depends on foundational information. But when it was set up to be successful from the beginning, which I really, really try to help childcare owners before they even secure a location to make sure that the numbers make sense, then the iron triangle works. Okay. I wish we just had days on days on days. We can do examples and all of that, but it's not a lot of time. We also talked about the annual revenue leak. You need to know your money, and we need to know how much money we're losing. I told you about my DoorDash situation. I stopped by Chick-fil-A today. I did not. DoorDash and Chick-fil-A is just absolutely ridiculous. It's so much money. But I reduced my DoorDash because I was leaking my personal money for something I just wasn't willing to keep spending money on. And so when we identify how much we're losing, we can start to plug the leak. I don't want to keep losing 20,000, 30, 40. I'll give you one more example. I told you I can do this for days. I'm not going to spend all night doing this, but um, I've been watching my numbers because I teach you guys the same thing, and I take my own medicine. And I noticed, I'm like, why is the water bill so high now? When I say money leak, just like water, there was a leak in the building. Now I have a large building. It's cute. Oh yay, 25,000 square foot building. It sounds cute. But when you have something like a leak, that's a cost that we do not want. And so our bill was, it was over $500 more than it typically is, because come to find out there was a water leak in an area we typically don't go in. And so just like I'm talking about the examples I've been given, it's the same type thing when whether it's in a house, whether it's in a building, we don't want leaks. They cause bigger problems. All right. So that's why I really wanted you to do those three numbers so that you can identify your actual money leak in your business. All right. And then I asked you, what is your number one leak type? Was it enrollment? Was it same thing? And I keep repeating it on purpose because I want it to resonate. Okay. And then the hidden revenue. Where are there some other income streams? That's a whole other session where we find money. Okay. Because a lot of times it is there, it's possible. But because we're so busy all the time, we don't have time to pause and think about the business side because we're filling in, we're cooking the meals, we're having to go clean the bathroom. We have to find a step, whatever, right? But tonight we're taking the time. Okay. That was day one and two. Day three is all about taking all the information we found. And honestly, the goal here is to just choose one thing for us to create a 90-day plan around and do something about it. If I can check in with each of you after 90 days and say, okay, your revenue leak was 80,000. What is it today? And you say you reduced it by 10,000, high five, that's a win. because you did something about it and we're reducing it. And all we have to do is keep doing the work to further reduce it. Okay. Cumulative costs. And this, I just was saying this, but this is a visual. When we have a leak, if we don't do anything about it, it just grows and it grows, right? There's the saying that a steady drip makes a puddle, literally, right? Same thing here. If we're leaking money, it's going to keep leaking. It's not going to stop just because you want it to stop. So I like to give you visual examples. If there was a program that had a $50,000 per year revenue leak, and let me say this again, some of these numbers may always feel big, and you may say, she's over exaggerating. I promise you, I'm not. I gave you the examples how even one tuition rate of $235 per week, when we don't collect it and it's more than one child, that really adds up to be thousands of dollars. It really does. So I just want you to know these aren't inflated. They are real numbers that if we really had time to dig into your bank statements and your business, it would be a real number. Not 50,000 for everyone, but too much money than we'd be comfortable with. Okay. So if there was a program that had a $50,000 per year leak, and if they did nothing about it, the next year, year two, it would be $100,000. And if they still were too busy to plug it or they just didn't know what to plug, by year three it's at 150,000. Year four, 200,000. Year five, $250,000. That same $50,000 leak that was never plugged, it only adds up until we stop it. Okay. And then I put on here that's not including interest on missed savings. We could have been saving that money. If we collected our $50,000 and saved it, and it had interest, do you know how much money you would have? That's I just want to make the point, okay? Um, what about any staff we may have lost due to burnout because overwhelm and frustration, right? That's a real thing. Sometimes we miss opportunities. I'll call those that's absolutely invaluable. We can't put a number on it. And sometimes it's a toll on our peace of mind. I don't like it. I don't like stress. I try to reduce it as much as possible. So that's why I want us to be a little proactive and look at the number and be uncomfortable with looking at it and doing something about it. Okay. What does the 90-day profit turnaround plan look like? You can take a picture of this if you like, um, because this is a real thing. I told you every 90 days I'm planning. And I'm pretty much doing the same thing every quarter because sometimes something comes up and we have to discuss it and we have to figure out how we're going to resolve it. We do things by 90 days. We're not unrealistic to say we're going to fix it tomorrow. Some things need strategy, some things need time. And so 90 days is usually close enough for it to not feel like you can't do anything about it, but it's also far enough for you to have time to work on it. So let me tell you what that looks like. Phase one is days 1 through 30. We're going to diagnose and stabilize. We started the diagnosis these past 3 days. We looked at the numbers. So, what that basically says is diagnose exactly where you're bleeding money and then stop the bleeding. Pick one money leak. It may be staffing, it may be enrollment, right? And so if you when we did the exercise on yesterday, my days are mixed up. Yesterday we said, well, how many seats are not filled? If you said 5, I'm not saying fill all 5 immediately, but we're going to start with 1. What is your strategy to fill in 1? I had a family, well, I had a woman call today. I was honestly on the phone with her like 15 minutes because she's like, I dropped off the application. I came on Friday. I couldn't understand. It just wasn't making sense because no one had the application. And so we finally got to the end of the conversation, and she's like, "No, I bought the application in 7 months ago, but I just got my funding and they said I don't need to fill out another application because you have it." So I'm like, "You did it months ago." I'm like, "We didn't get an application Friday." I say all that to say that was work that we had done months ago. She bought us an application 7 months ago. She's ready to enroll now. I say that because sometimes the enrollment or the money is sitting on your voicemail or is sitting in your mailbox or is sitting on a list of people who called and inquired. And sometimes, what if we just go back and follow up? What if we just check in and say, listen, you stopped by not too, however long ago, or you gave us a call, wanted to check in to see if you were still looking for childcare. We have some openings right now. Let me tell you a little bit about what we have coming up. What what if you filled that one spot just by doing that? Now you have 4 spots to fill. Now we're going to try another strategy. So we diagnose and we stabilize. Stabilize means we stop the bleeding, right? Right, start doing CPR type thing. We stop the bleeding. We do what we need to do to stabilize it, and then that's when we get to the other phases. So, what league are you picking? And I like to drop it in the chat because we have to have a community, we have to be accountable, and we have to share. But it also allows you to make a decision right now. You're on the call right now. Why wait? Why wait? Oh, not the Panera bread orders. Panera bread is good. It is good. But what uh somebody tell me, oh, how come I can't do this? Somebody tell me, what's your number one leak? Enrollment? Is it your rates? Do you need to look at that? Do you need to look at staffing? Do you need to look at oh my goodness. I said collection rate. Okay, staffing. Um If you're not full, we're looking at enrollment too. Why am I drawing a blank on the last one? Staffing, not staffing. Your enrollment, if you're looking at your rates and your collection. That's what it is. Enrollment. There we go. Okay. All right. That's where your leak is. So that's what you're going to focus in on. All right. We're not trying to fix everything. We're just identifying at this point and we're picking one. All right. What does phase two look like? So once we do this work, first 30 days, now we start to say, okay, let me put a process in place. And then when I put a process in place, I'm going to document it and I'm going to create a system, which means now I'm going to have someone else help me do it. We're going to work together and I don't have to carry the heavy load myself, especially when we're looking for staff. I go straight to my staff. I'm like, guys, we have an opening. Anybody know anyone? Do you want to make a referral? Do you want to share to your network? I go I don't carry that whole burden myself. I told you my now director, we were talking about it earlier. I noticed we started getting a number of new job what do you call it? New hits on ZipRecruiter. It's like, oh, they're fresh. I told y'all that yesterday or maybe day one that I think we needed to update our ZipRecruiter. Well, I checked it with my director. I was like, "Did you update it?" She said, "Yes, I did." There we go. I just said it. She actually did it, and now we're starting to see some return on our investment. And I get to start reaching out to people so we can fill our staffing spots. I'm always excited to we're preparing for the new school year, so we're going to be doing interviews, right? So now we talk about here's what the process is, and it starts with let's make sure that we're sharing with people that we're hiring. And then we have a process that we put into place as we start to do our interviews, onboarding, all of that stuff. So this says days 31 through 60, start building a process so you can start working towards the plug in the money leak from phase one. Okay. I thought I said something. Okay. No problem. Okay. She got to hang up. And then the last one, phase three, scale and sustain. We need to measure our results. Let's see what happened. Let's take a step back. What did we put into place? Is it working? Are we starting to see a reduction in the money that's being lost? What changed? What do we need to do next? Right? This is a perfect time to review our freedom number. Are we getting closer to it? right? And sometimes when I say review the freedom number, we might be closer to the freedom number because we're closing the money leak. If now I'm not losing $50,000, I may be losing $40,000. It seems like I have an additional 10,000. Where can I put that money? Maybe I can put it towards my freedom number. That's why I want you to calculate it. Okay? I want to be free, friends. Like I'm at some point I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna have but so many evening meetings. I'm not. I'm gonna start having them during the day because it's summer. My kids, we like to go out to eat. We just like to do stuff. That's a part of freedom. And I'm identifying what that is. Okay. So what's your next 90-day priority? That's when you decide that. All right. That is a 90-day profit turnaround plan. Identify it, right? That means diagnose. And then we build the plan, we make it a system. Systems are things that we consistently do. I showed you this book. That's what this book is about. It's all about that. And I was sharing with you yesterday for the membership, I am having a 3-hour planning session that I'm going to be doing for my clients at the end of June. Because when I tell you, it is a phenomenal way to address the things that we want to get done in our business. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's build a plan. Let's make it happen. Step one, I want you piece of paper, pen and paper. Or you can have your phone, your notes app, and identify what is my 90-day revenue goal, right? When we do goals and plans, we do not want to just make a generic statement, okay? We have to be specific. So I gave you an example right there. Don't just say in 90 days, I'm going to grow enrollment. That's not specific enough. It's not measurable. So a good example of a revenue goal is $12,500 per month by August 12th. That's the revenue goal. So we want a number and when will it be done by? So today is the 11th. So if we want to say our 90-day turnaround time is going to be September 11th, then we're going to put by September 11th, but what is your revenue goal? And make that money, that dollar number specific. All right, so I'm gonna give you 15 seconds to write your money goal. And I'm gonna say this too. Usually, when we have goals, it should make us a little nervous. It should make us a little uncomfortable. It shouldn't be too easy. I like to give y'all examples. I'm not really gonna say the number because, like, I never want. I'm not gonna say the number. I'll make one up. Um, how many years ago? Two, 2 years ago. 2 years ago during our annual planning session, I told you every year in July, we have 2 full days of planning and we plan for 3 years and we plan for the current year. And we were looking at our new revenue goal. And I remember them pushing me even more than I wanted to go. I was so uncomfortable with the number. I was like, I don't know. It was really uncomfortable. And it was like, I think we can do it. I'm talking about my team, my other director, my assistant director, my education specialist as a team. And so they're like, I think we can do it. Let's push and do this number. And so we did um, a multi 7-figure number. We had never done it before. And I'm like, okay. That was 2 years ago. It's supposed to be due by 2028. By 2028, we were supposed to hit that number. I work with my CFO. We have a financial meeting every month. We are on track by the end of the fiscal year, which is in 20 days. We're going to hit the number 2 years earlier than we had planned. And that is because we have the number. We look at the number every week. We meet every week and we look at the number every quarter during our quarterly planning. And so we already know what that number is. And so we put plans in place and we have enrollment strategies in place. We have double funding strategies, all of that stuff. And we're hitting the number 2 years early. But I really was nervous. I was like, I don't know, because I don't like to hit my revenue goals. But I say that because when you know the number, it's constantly in front of you and you can work towards it. It doesn't have to be my number, but just make it a little uncomfortable because then it pushes you a little harder. We don't want to do something that's like, ah, we did it already. So I'm just gonna say I want to do the same thing as last year. Yeah. Is it motivating? It does it make you a little does it make you nervous? Because we want something that's gonna push us, okay? And it's a statement too. It's a phrase out there, right? If it doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. If your dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. It should be something that's big that you're like, I can see it. Oh, but it's going to take a little work to get there. We want to do that, okay? Because let's push ourselves. All right. Did everybody write there? You wrote your revenue goal? Make it specific, a particular dollar amount with a date. Okay. All right. What is your number one leak to close in phase one? I keep asking you because I want to make sure that you wrote your leak down. What's the leak you're gonna close? Name it, name the dollar amount, and name one system you'll build to fix it. I can imagine you might have questions about that. So if you have a question, raise your hand, put it in the chat. Let me know if you have a question. But what this is saying is which one of the money leaks? I'm just going to, one of you said enrollment. So if it was enrollment, say, for example, you said my money leak is enrollment and I want to close it by, I'm making up a number, $5,000. And then what's the system you'll build to fix it? Maybe your system is, for example, um, my callback. I'm going to, if we get an inquiry, I'm going to call them back within the same day. Push yourself, right? You could easily say 24 hours, but what if they call somebody else? As soon as we get that message, what if we push ourselves and say, oh, I got the message, let me call right now? How long does it take? 2 minutes? You might have to leave a voicemail. You call back, but then you have a follow up within 24 hours. So maybe your follow up system is what's going to help you close the enrollment gap. Okay. The next one, what will I stop doing that's not working? Maybe it's give discounts. That's a money leak, by the way, depending. Maybe you won't give discounts. You're like, the rate is $250 per week. I can't do 225. Micromanaging staff might be another one. We don't have time to micromanage people because we're paying them to do a job. I have a job to do. Maybe that's a money leak because we're wasting time. Time is money. Wait for families to find me. Maybe we're going to stop doing that and say, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show up on social media more. I'm going to let people see the behind the scenes of what we're doing. I just did a new video. I'm a video girl, so I do videos for my staff and giving them examples of what should our bright will look like. How do we make our bright will really effective so that families also get to see what we do? Sometimes it's not just about enrolling new people. Sometimes it's about retaining the families that we have. Okay. So your next to do is to identify what you're going to stop doing that is not working and pick two of them. Because sometimes it's not about here's what I'm going to do. It's about here's what I'm going to stop doing. All right. And then what new behavior or system will I start? 48-hour inquiry response. We actually just said we're going to try to do the same day response. Maybe I'm going to update my tuition policy. It's a little dated. I need to update it. Maybe it's I'm going to review my weekly CEO dashboard. A CEO dashboard is something that you look at consistently. We do every week where we look at our numbers every week. Enrollment, call out, attendance, incident reports, um, how many meals we served. We look at numbers that matter to the business to see if we're on track. Are we, did we not serve enough meals, which means we're not going to get reimbursed? Uh, were there a lot of call outs, which is a concern? Um, was attendance low? which also means it's a concern. What's going on there? We need to reach out to families. And we have funders that require 85% attendance. So if they're too low, that becomes an issue. So before things get too big for us, we're looking at it every week. Okay. All right. Any questions about this? This basically, when you answer the questions, that's your plan. But you have to truly identify it and you have to write it down. Anything that's in our head, we forget. There's a quote that says, what's written is real." When we write it down, now we made it real because I can go look at it. Okay. Any questions, anyone? No. Okay. All right. And so you don't need to do it all. I keep sharing that with you all. This isn't about take everything that I said and do it right away. We need to just try to find some ways that will help us do business smoother. So one of those things is let's automate where we can. Everything doesn't have to be manual. You don't have to do all the heavy lifting. Again, what are some things that if I automate it, it's still getting done? I still remember doing manual reminders to families in regards to how much money they owed. We use Brightwell now. It's automated. Use the system. The system is going to send out the reminders that tuition is due. We can send out batch messages to any families who need a reminder to make their payment. Um, Inquiry auto response. I think I told y'all there's free ways to have like an auto response, especially via email. We have like a jot form set up. You can have a Google form set up where if families have an inquiry on your website, when they send in the message, you can have an auto response that automatically says, "Thank you so much for submitting your inquiry. Someone will be in touch with you within 24 hours." If we say that, we need to make sure we do that. Okay. But that's a it's an auto response. "Thank you so much. We'll be in touch." Or you could put whatever message, or you could give us a call at something like that. Okay. That's the first touch. You just have to do the follow-up to have the human conversation. Attendance tracking. Well, our Bright will they scan it and that lets us know that they're there. Our teachers still do some type of attendance, but that's a way for us to have documented attendance. And family communication updates. I could just send out a message to everybody. Delegate. Delegating is huge. Some of you may have small teams, and that's okay. If you work with one person, that's enough to not carry the load by yourself. Even if you work by yourself, there's still someone who can help you behind the scenes. So maybe someone else can do some things like family tours, staff scheduling, ordering supplies, daily walkthroughs for safety, or whatever. Don't feel like you have to do everything because when you do that, you can't focus on the type of stuff that we're talking about now. No one else is going to run our business for us. Okay. And then the last one, systematize. If it happens repeatedly in your business, document it so that anyone else can run it. I like to tell the story when it wasn't a fun story. It's not like a happy story necessarily, but years ago, my brother, he was running our CACFP program, our food program. And I was proud that I fully delegated it to him because I'm like, I don't need to know it. Like you run that. And so he ended up needing surgery and went into a coma for like 30 days, which meant we had no one to like run the program. We didn't know what to do, and we had to learn it fast. And that helped me to learn that yes, someone else may do it, but I still need it documented because if that person is no longer here, my brother is still here. Thank God he came out of the coma. But if that person is no longer employed with us, or if they're no longer in the role, we still have to have someone who can refer to how to do it. We still need to know how to do it. We need to train someone else. So that means we create systems, and I don't care the size of your program, right? I speak to all size programs, family programs who might have um, a group of 6 or 8, and all the way up to 300 children. It doesn't matter. A system is just here's how we do it each and every time that we do it, each and every week. And all we do is document it. Okay. And examples are hiring and onboarding, enrollment, collections, financial review. And so this is just a moment to think about what's your most urgent fix? Is it I need to create goals because I just don't know where my business is going? Which means clarity. Clarity is huge, right? Think about when you're driving in a car and it's really foggy. Sometimes it don't seem as dangerous as it is, but when you really can't see and you don't have good visibility, you don't have clarity. Where are you going? You can't. You need to pause. You need to go pull over and let things just clear up a little bit because it's not safe to drive. You can't even see, right? Clarity is huge. Sometimes it's Uber. That's you said? Okay. Time. Listen, I'm coming to a season where I'm like, I can't do everything. I don't have the time to do it. We all get the same 24 hours in a day. And so if you're the only person that's doing something, if you're the only person that does this thing at the program and say you're not there, you're the bottleneck. Nobody can make decisions, they can't do anything. Everything stops with you. That becomes a problem. It's a bottleneck and we can't have that. Okay. Systems. Is that an area you need to fix? Nothing runs without you. You have to do all the things. So if you put a system in place, somebody else can do it because it's documented. They know how to do it too. Money. The revenue leak may not be closed yet. And so you're losing money. And you know for the sake of your business that you can't keep doing that. So money may be your urgent fix. Or people. Maybe you can't take more children because of staffing. A lot of our staff are going out this summer. We're at the point now for summer camp, we can't enroll any more children unless we hire more people, which really our staff are coming back in September. It's just so I have to decide, do I want to hire someone just for now or we just cap off how many children we can have? Or maybe your issue is staff turnover or culture or accountability, meaning people aren't doing their jobs. So identify what your most urgent fix is. Why do I keep saying this same type of thing? Because until we do it, we just keep doing the same thing. We hang up from this call, and then tomorrow we go back to a frustrating, overwhelmed day, and we're like, oh my gosh, I need something to change. Well, a part of it is what needs to change. Let's identify it. Now, what are we going to do about it? I tell my kids the same thing. My youngest, 11 and 14. It's usually the same question. Okay, you don't like it? What you gonna do about it? It's not gonna change until we change. All right. Let's make our commitment. Take a picture of this, write it down. What's written is real. In the next 90 days, I commit to. What do you commit to doing? Let me think of an example because you guys aren't the only ones. I do these exercises too. What have I committed to lately? Um, yeah, mine is a little different. So I have been committing to because I am transitioning out of my role, I have to remember that I don't do all of the things that I used to do as the director. So yesterday, every year we have a reflection meeting at the end of the school year, which means we bring the team together and we just talk about all the great things, the things we want to improve, and fresh ideas for next school year. And so put it on the calendar. I scheduled it for 1 o'clock. But then I was having a conversation, which is why I say accountability and communication. I mean, and community is everything because the realization was, why am I running the meeting? I had so much to do. I had such a busy week. I have other clients I need to work with, not in a program. I don't even go into my center on Wednesdays. I work from home Mondays, Wednesdays. So I was going to go into the center for this meeting, but it was like, why are you going to run the meeting? My director is there. So it was supposed to start at 1 at 11 o'clock. I was like, listen, are you good to run the reflection meeting? She was like, "Yeah." It's like, "Perfect. There we go." That's a part of my commitment is, hold up. That's not you. You're supposed to be doing something else. I'm focused on the higher level part of the business, taking it to the next level. I can't do that if I keep going in there and doing stuff that I just have no business doing. So that's my commitment is pausing. Am I supposed to be doing that? So I commit to really transitioning into this executive director role only. Ultimately, I'm going to be the visionary only, which means I do not work in the center at all. I just look at the overall direction of the business and I basically consult my team. That is it. So I commit to that. That's one of my commitments. What is one belief that you're releasing? So here's a couple that I have heard. Some beliefs are that I'm not a CEO. But it's like you've been running your business all this time. We're not perfect, but you are. Some beliefs I've heard is I'm not good with money, or I used to say I just don't have good time management until I decided that that was something I wanted to do. That used to be a commitment of mine. Still working on it at times. Okay, so what's one belief that you're releasing? And one CEO habit that I will build is CEO habits can look like I'm going to review my bank statement every month, or I'm going to look at my financials every week. I am going to what's a lot of things I do? Let's see, CEO habits. Meet with my team, right? It could be that. Any CEO habit, okay? My accountability partner for this plan is, do you have an accountability partner? That's huge. When we do it by ourselves, we let ourselves off the hook all the time. We're like, you know what? I was really busy. I was busy. That's why I couldn't do it. We just give ourselves excuses and we let ourselves off the hook. We need an accountability partner that can say, no, nope. Remember, you said that your 90-day commitment was X. Y. We need someone to remind us of that and to partner with us who wants the best for us. Okay. So these are all the CEO commitments. Um, again, I told you I have coaches. I am in community spaces. I have accountability. I actually have a accountability group. We meet every single week and we check in on our goals and all of that good stuff. And uh, one thing, one thing we were talking about was in reading this book. It's a number of things that I'm thinking about. And so when I like to be around people when I share it with you, you just remind me of what I said. I'm thinking that I'm just casually telling you, but because I like to be around people who care about me, they just remind me. Like no, no, but you said, no, but you said. Um, and so just thinking about that, I remember that just happened this week. But anyway. So those are the commitments because we deserve them. You deserve them. All right. So I just mentioned that everything is all about these are all my friends. This was at one of my experience events. Some amazing childcare owners. Are you doing this alone or are you doing it with support? Like I said, when we are in a group of people who are like-minded, like us as childcare owners, we get it. And so we're not alone in it. We understand that we have a support system, even if I don't know you. Like I don't know each and every one of you. I care about your well-being. I do. I really want you to do well. I would love for you to hope the same for me. And so I just really want to ask if you're going to keep doing it alone or with support, because this is the truth. The truth is 18 years I've been doing this. And a lot of times I think it's not about us. Some things we don't know, but there's a lot of things that we know. We're knowledgeable. It's not because we're not enough, but really sometimes it's just a gap. There's some type of gap. And what I realize is we can have all the best intentions and we can want to do stuff, but the truth of the matter is we don't. And we're like, you know what? I'm going to do that next year. Not right now. I'm going to do it next year. And then next year comes and it's like, it's still too busy. I'm going to do it next year. But when we are in spaces, again, with accountability and support, we tend to do what we say, right? That's why I kept asking you guys, type it in the chat or share it, because when we do that, we feel a little more accountable and we put it out there, and we don't want to disappoint ourselves or others, and we don't want to come off as a liar. I don't like the liar word, but that's what sometimes we feel. We're like, you know what? I want to honor my word. That's a better way to say it. Okay. And so I didn't share about this, but I only share this when it's people who are like, I really need support one on one. And you may want to have a conversation with me about, well, how can you help me personally? Because I do have a program where the inner circle is where I support childcare owners in very small community, but we have one on ones every single month and we strategize every single month. That's the ultimate accountability program that I have. So I'm not going to go into detail with it, but if you know that you really want community, just put it in the chat or let me know. You can email me and I'll put my email address in there. Email me um, or to book a call. Okay, and we can chat. But I told you all last night about the community, brand new membership community. I'm so excited about it. Again, if you enjoyed this space, we really didn't get to interact, but in the membership, we can, right? I really do like to interact. That's really what I want to do. But we haven't been able to do that because we don't have the time, and this is a quick challenge. So, this is so okay. So, if you are like, I would love to continue working with you. I want to learn. Every single month, I'm going to be doing webinars on a different topic. I love to talk about like real stuff, money, AI, systems, staffing, all the things that are a hot topic. I teach and I also give you resources and support. I'm talking real templates that you can just use. You don't need to rewrite a job description. I already got that for you. You don't need to create an SOP for enrollment. I got that for you. Like, so a lot of the things sometimes that childcare owners need, I'm like, I do that anyway. I will share it with you. I will support you, but we also have a community. And so right now I'm doing the founding members, which means if you join, either you just do the lifetime 1997 and you don't pay again, you do not pay ever again because you become a lifetime member, or it's $197 per month for 1 year, and then you're a lifetime member. That is only temporary while I get my founding members. That means you are the first group with me. And so this membership actually launches next week. I have a internal community. It is not the Facebook group or anything. There's actually a portal that you log into with all the resources. My 6 step program, it is a full course. It is a 12-week course that you get. But you also get some connection with me each month. And I also do challenges and other fun stuff. So I'm going to, Adrian, can you put that link in the chat? So if you're interested in that, let me know. And the last thing, if you're not even ready for that either, but you really enjoyed this conversation about the revenue leak and you want more information about that, I actually have a live calculator that helps you calculate based on the data that you enter. It will give you all of your money leaks and give you insight to your business. And I have a whole CEO toolkit bundle. We talked about a number of things, but I actually have resources and worksheets and a live calculator. So that's the CEO Toolkit bundle and calculator if you are interested. Okay. Those are ways, really, I'm sharing all that is because the challenge is over. But if you still want resources and you don't want to stop here and you want support because you don't want to go back to where you were, I just want to let you know there are ways to stay accountable, stay in community, and get the support to grow your business. Okay. All right, we're about to do some Q&A for you to ask any questions, get any clarification if you have questions about any of the programs. But here's what I do know. I do want to say this. sometimes these are the things that come up in people's mind. They're like, you know what? I just don't have time right now. I do know that we say that, and it's like we just talked about all the ways that we have money leaks. And we say we don't have time, but we're using our time doing stuff we shouldn't do. And time is money. So we don't want to just keep waiting because then I showed y'all the graph is 50,000 and then next year it's 100 and then it's 150. We just keep wasting time and money. Okay? You could plug the leak 197 per month. I mean, if we plugged one leak, that pays for the year and beyond. Okay? And then you only continue to learn. Some people say I can figure this out on my own, and I'm not saying you can't, but I know how hard it is to Google and find an answer because it's not always based on experience and having the resources. And sometimes that costs more time and money. And the last thing, I can't afford this right now. And I get it. I'm not checking for anybody's pockets, but we just talked about money leaks. And for any of us who have thousands of dollars that we're losing, we can plug it and pay for what we need to pay for and actually, like I said, get a return on your investment. Okay. All right. Yes, the plan is in your hand. These are all the things that are available. I'm about to take questions, but I want to say this before I take questions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your time. I know that sometimes you could just be like, I'm tired. I don't feel like it. Or you could have done something else, but you were here with me and I appreciate you. And I want to say thank you. Okay. All right. Let's get into questions. Who has questions? You can unmute. You can put it in the chat. Otherwise, we are going to be getting ready to wrap up. Ms. Uba, you do have communication skills. And I know a lot of times people do need organization. I absolutely. Absolutely. What questions do you guys have? Any questions? Nothing? Guys, we're at the end. This is it. Nothing? No question. Any feedback? Something. What did you learn today or the last 3 days? Y'all have to give me something. Y'all got to give me something. There's no way y'all were here 3 days and don't have a takeaway, a something. Ah, Miss Uber, you have a bunch of notes. Yay! It's so good to see you. Oh, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. I have a bunch of notes. I have to take a review and take a lot of things. Yes, I do.
Good,
Thank
good.
you so much, Ali.
That's what I hope. Absolutely, absolutely.
Mm,
Thank you.
all right. All right. Have a
Okay.
good night. I think
You
it's
too. Thank you. Who do we have on here? We have JC. Do you have anything? Oh, thank Miss Elizabeth. Thank you for joining me. All right, we're good. Before I before we jump off, any questions or anything? I'm so sorry I don't have your name from Rising Stars. Oh, hi. You trying to unmute? I'm sorry, I can't even say your name. Rising Stars Day School, I think it said. Did you have a question or anything? I saw you put your camera on. Oh, did you put anything in the chat? No. Oh, okay. Oh, storm came. Oh, no, no. Okay, no worries, no worries. Did you have a question or anything before we wrap up? Okay. Thank you, thank you. Thank you all for joining. Happy, happy Thursday. Have an amazing weekend, and I will see you soon. No problem. No problem. Thank you for coming.